Hi, I'm Rafa Mora, and this is my presentation on the assessment and all my placement activities from this year. So my main placement was, fortunately, I got to work at work with Liverpool's official media team as part of their analyst team, social media team, helping out with match day shows, analysing individual player performances, and with their official club show, LFC TV. So an overview of the presentation. So from December 2023 until present day, I worked for Liverpool's official media team as a matchday analyst. February until present, I also worked for a sports website called At The Match, which I wrote articles for, match reports, reviews, and stuff that we'll get onto later on. So how have I got on with the objectives I set myself? And I've also done 4 journal entries, so 2 career, 1 academic, and 1 personal. So what objectives did I set myself in assessment 1? So my personal goal was to improve my personal development planning skills, which over the course of this year, I definitely feel like I've done, and I've worked on that a lot. So the personal development plan ensures that we understand the areas of weakness that need to be addressed and enables a structure that is outlined in terms of professional growth and development, so Griffiths to 2018. My professional goal was to improve communication skills. Communication was something that I felt like I had to work on in all aspects of my work, whether that was getting in touch with people, whether that was talking to my colleagues, whether I was asking for help, wherever it may be. That's just something that I felt like I could work on this year and something I felt like I have done. So whether it's technical or personal communication, the process is important for everyone involved to assume a better understanding of the general situation. Mine was 2017. My academic goal was to improve concentration and sustaining attention. So something that I've always struggled with is keeping my mind on what has to be done and staying concentrated and not getting distracted, which is something that throughout this year I've really had to focus on, because whether it was placement or uni work, I've always felt like I get distracted very easily. So in order to complete all the work and complete the placement properly, that was something that I felt I had to improve on. So concentration and ability to stay on task is crucial and something that can make or break a potential career, which is Whittle 2013. So moving on, reflection. So Gibbs reflective cycle is what I used. So in terms of experience, the experience I gained at Liverpool were mostly positive, and the process for me was thoroughly enjoyable. My feelings were that of appreciation, that I was given the opportunity to work in that environment and the people around me, who honestly from the first day made me feel comfortable in every way. They were all extremely friendly to me and made my experience much better. In terms of evaluating my experience, the contributions I made were often put forward successfully, which made me feel accomplished. Going into a big club like that with a lot of people around you, I felt like when I was making a contribution that was being listened to and heard, it made me feel very good about myself, because I felt like I had a good part to play there and I was being taken seriously. So analysing my time there, the various skills I gained in all aspects of my placement have put me in good shape for my future in journalism. So I've learned a lot from all my time there, and I've taken experience, and I've also learned a lot from my colleagues and everyone else that worked there who helped me out a lot. So in conclusion, my writing skills and ability to persevere in a fresh environment have improved due to this experience. I already thought that I was a decent writer, especially about football or something I enjoy writing about. But writing when pressure's on and you know that people are depending on you and that you're putting it out to the public definitely adds a sense of um of happiness when you get through it and you know that you've done it in a pressured environment. So action plan, using the experience I gained, I want to be more confident in putting myself out there in the future for any potential work I desire. So if there's one thing this experience taught me, was that I got this because I emailed and I was positive, and I was forward in putting myself out there, and it worked out for me. So in the future, I always want to make sure that I'm putting myself out there for something that I desire or something I want to do. So personal development skills. Personal development planning is a structured process that helps individuals evaluate their current competencies. It's always important in all aspects of life, but especially within work, to always know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And by understanding that, it gives you a platform to move on in the future as you know what you need to work on. So at the start of the semester, I was slightly worried about being drowned and consumed within the work. As I said, I'm not someone that always stays on track or doesn't get distracted easily. So it was important for me that I didn't feel like I was going to be drowning too much. Juggling university work and placement while also having a social life was a tough thing to grasp. The jump from first year to second year was always something that I was thinking about in terms of workload and my social life. So I feel like I had to put plans in place in order to stay afloat and not fall behind and lose my mind too much. However, despite the pressure on my shoulders, I was able to persevere and ensure that my mind stayed focused on the task ahead and just remember to enjoy it. It doesn't matter how much work or what we've got going on. At the end of the day, we're doing placements, and I was working somewhere which I thoroughly enjoyed. So I always just try to tell myself just to enjoy it, no matter how much work or how much pressure I had or how much I was feeling like I was getting distracted. I would just remember just enjoy it, and I'll be okay. Success in personal development and achieving our goals is not merely a matter of luck or talent, but rather a result of hard work and perseverance. Believe in Mind 2023. If we move on to my career development skill, as a result of the placement process, I've been able to improve various skills of mine that will help define my career. I've become more confident taking responsibility for work that needs to be done and living with the pressure of that. See Journal 1. So I've been used to writing about football in the past, but taking responsibility for work and saying, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do this, I'm not asking for help when you know that you're being tasked with an assignment, you need to show that you're capable of standing up in those moments. I've also learned about the importance of communication and teamwork when working in a big group with multiple activities going on at once. See Journal Entry 1. So as I said before, communication was something that I wanted to improve on because I feel like in every aspect it's extremely important to know how to communicate properly. And in terms of teamwork and working in a big group, when you're working in a big group like that, it's extremely important that everyone knows their own roles and everyone talks to each other, because at the end of the day, you're working as one, you're working as a unit. So if everyone communicates with each other properly, then the ship kind of won't sail, the ship won't drown. Good communication is an essential tool in achieving productivity and maintaining strong working relationships at all levels of an organisation. As I said, I felt like when I was at Liverpool, because it was such a big group, that I was worried that I was going to be kind of drowned out a bit. But everyone was constantly talking, everyone was saying what their role is, everyone was making sure that everyone knew what they were doing, which really helped out my experience, because I just felt so much more at ease and comfortable with what I had to do. I never felt like I was being left in the dirt or not understanding what we had to do. So that was important for my career development. The second point about my career development was that my experiences gained at Liverpool have taught me a lot about my character. So going into my placement, I was feeling slightly overwhelmed and restricted. Because I was the youngest member of the team, it did put a touch of doubt into my mind as to whether the contributions I made would be taken seriously. I'm going into a proper football club here, and I thought that me going in there as a 20-year-old with no experience would have slightly hindered my impact on the team. See Journal Entry 4. But me being a confident person, I kind of just leant on my backbone of my knowledge of football, which I like to think is quite good, which conveyed my presence within the team was justified. I feel like by showing them that I knew what I was talking about and I knew my stuff, it helped me settle in quicker, because the team felt like I knew what I was talking about, which helped me out at the start. In a footballing environment, it's all a matter of opinion, and my personality and love for the game kind of shine through and allowed me to build good relationships with the rest of the group. When you're in a football environment and you're working with people, it's all about showing your personality and how much you want to be there just as much as them. And if you build a good relationship with them through anything, just joking about football, the teams you support, but making sure you stay on task, it's always going to help. Understanding and identifying personality attributes in the workplace is an essential thing for creating a positive and productive work environment, which was William Beaumont, 2023. The relationships I built and connections I've made because of my placement at Liverpool will be extremely beneficial in my future endeavours. So the people that I've got in contact with, the contacts that I now have for the future, especially at that level, will really, really help me because they've all been so good to me. And I've built really good relationships with them. So in the future, that will definitely help me out. In terms of my academic development skills, academically, my work at Liverpool has been a shoehorn in my ability to understand multiple areas of journalism and has taught me a few valuable lessons. My writing skills have skyrocketed after being given the freedom to express myself independently with opinions. In the past, when I've written, I've been writing with a sense of kind of pressure on my shoulders because I was writing under certain restrictions or onto certain tasks. But being given the freedom at Liverpool to just express myself in my writing and with my opinions, I felt like that gave me a lot of joy. So I felt like I could just write about what I desired, about my passion, and hopefully that always kind of ended up in the best. But it's important that you just have freedom when you're writing. I also learned the importance of translating relevant work and catering to a certain audience, which has been a fascinating experience for me. So what I mean by that is when you've got a specific task to do and you're catering to a certain audience. So when I was analysing the Liverpool Football Club's games at the weekend, the show was going out on the LFC channel, which was obviously all Liverpool fans. So I realised that it's not always about the work you produce, it's about the relevance of work you produce and what people want to see. So you can't be too negative because it's the official club show. So I had to learn kind of how to tailor my work and my analysis into what the audience was going to see and how they do it. Doing the analysis after game to Liverpool demonstrated the importance of highlighting the key moments for the viewers and establishing an informative show. See journal entry 3. So as I said, it's so important to know what the audience want to see and what you're making for them. The importance of relevant journalism is essential in contextualising events and using them to drive action, which is Carter 2023. Writing skills constitute for both academic and professional success, Newman 2016. So onto my action plans. Short-term action plans. So where do I want to be at the end of the year? I want to get a good grade in university that will hold me in good shape for next year. Obviously, good grades are subjective, but something that I can be happy with. And I also want to continue working at Liverpool during the summer and gain more experience, which I feel like will be key for my learning in the future. Actions needed. Stay focused for the last few weeks and ensure I stay on top of everything. As I said, I've always struggled with kind of focusing, so I need to make sure that the last few weeks of this year that I'm still on top of it. And continue to build relationships with the people there and stay in touch at Liverpool. So, as I said, it's so important that you have good contacts in this area and that you stay in touch with these people because they can really help you out in the future. How do I know if the goal has been achieved? So obviously when I get my grade in the summer, and in terms of Liverpool, if obviously I maintain a good relationship and they want me to continue working with them. Action plan medium term. So where would I want to be when I finish university? So by the end of university, I want to have achieved a grade I can be proud of and look back on as a pillar of my success. In order to do that, I need to work even harder next year and continue to believe in myself that I can be successful. And how do I know when the goal has been achieved? Obviously, when I receive my grade at the end of university. Also, having completed more work experience and polished up my writing skills to be at the highest level is something that I want to continue doing and continue working on myself and getting better. In order to do that, I need to contact more football clubs, speak to more experts in the field, maintain relationships already established. And if I know this can be achieved if I'm happy with the quality of my writing and I'm being recognised by news outlets, whoever that may be, for the potential that I have in this industry. And then action plan long term, where I want to be in 5 years, I ideally want to be working for a major sports outlet as a full-time journalist or a high-level football club in any capacity. To do that, I need to continue conveying my personality and always working to the best of my ability, build relationships every day, and reach out whenever necessary. I'll know if the goal has been achieved if I'm successful in any environment I want to be in, and I'm thriving doing so. I'll know if that's the case. Also, I want to be proud of my development. I want to make sure I work hard every day and always trying to learn from people with more experience than me, because that's always important. I'll know I've done that if I look back and I don't regret missed opportunities or not working as hard as I can. These are the references that I've used throughout my PowerPoint, and these are my appendices which Simon kindly filled out for me. So thank you very much for listening, and cheers, take care.